Hi everyone, I am Karthik. I work for Akma Technologies as a business analyst. Today I want to talk about your user. Today I see everyone who is coming out of college, they don't get education on knowing the user. How important is it to know the user? Even when they are working on projects and even all the skill set they learn, there is no emphasis on how important is it to knowing the user when you are developing something. I want to talk in general, not just specific to software engineering or apps development or product development. It could be any product you are developing that is used for the end user. I want to break this knowing your user into 3 steps. First step is knowing the user's profile, what kind of background they have, and how they're going to use the product. Is it because they have a problem and will the product solve the problem, or they have a need which they want the product to serve the need? That's the first step. And second step is during your implementation, say understanding the requirements or designing or implementation and testing, all phases you constantly get the feedback from the user whether whatever you are developing is solving their problem or serving their need. And also after you ship the product to the customer or deliver to the customer, whether the product is of use for the user, whether they are able to use the product with ease. So you have to get feedback on this. So these are the 3 steps when you are developing a product. You have to keep in mind or knowing your user, constantly get their feedback. Now let's take an example of how these are going to affect the product quality, right? So as you know, like there are millions of apps in Google Play Store, which a lot of people don't even use it. When you compare to the successful apps in the Play Store, there are many millions of apps. So all the engineers who have built those apps, they have actually spent maybe the equal amount of effort, but still the users are not using those apps. Now let's look at an example where we could apply this science of knowing the user. Let's take an example of people buying ice creams from an ice cream vendor, and say somebody is preparing the ice cream. So there are 3 people in this: the one who is buying the ice cream, the one who is selling the ice cream, and one who is preparing the ice cream. The users, maybe there are like different age group. Some people are like kids who want to like try out new flavors, or they have their favorite flavor, or they could be somebody taking their girlfriend for out to get the buy some different ice creams or a special ice cream, or there could be a family person who is buying a family pack ice cream. So these are like different profiles of users, their different needs, and the seller of the ice cream is probably in the best seat to know the user, what exactly the user needs are. But whereas if you take the person who is preparing an ice cream, they do not know what exactly the user wants. So in case they go with trying out a new flavor, they experiment with the new flavor, and then they deliver all their ice creams in a single form, like a cone ice cream or a cup ice cream with the only the new flavor to the ice cream vendor. For sure the ice cream vendor will not be able to sell it to the users, because they will find a very limited set of users who would probably like the new flavor, or they want to try out the new flavor. So instead, if the person who is preparing the ice cream gets the constant feedback from the seller on what exactly the user like to try out, or which ice cream is gonna sell, if based on this feedback, if they prepare the ice cream, the success rate of selling out all the ice creams which they prepare goes very high. So similarly, you can apply this to whatever product you are developing. You constantly get the feedback in the 3 steps we mentioned earlier. Understand the user's profile, know what is their need or problem, and then when you are implementing or developing the product, uh, you constantly get the feedback at every stage of the development, during the designs and during the implementation and testing. Always get the feedback from the user, whether whatever you are developing is going to help them or not, or is it easy to use or not. And even after you deliver it to your users, constantly get feedback from them to understand how the product is doing. Is it really helping them out? Is it able to solve their problems? Is it able to serve their needs? Constantly get the feedback from the users. So that way, whatever you are developing, the success rate of that product goes very high. The usage from the users goes very high. So as an engineer, if you have this additional skill set of knowing your users and constantly applying that process or thought in your development, will lead to you developing a much successful products, so which makes you more competitive in the market as well. Now there is a slight difference between UI UX, which is kind of a skill which is in the market, compared to this knowing your user. Of course, the UI UX is part of this, but I want to just draw out the differences here. UI UX only talks about the interaction with the user has with the product. It doesn't talk about the overall experience, product experience which the product gives to the user. So that's the difference. Say in case of our ice cream vendor example, the users look at the product and then they make the transaction with the seller, but that is the only interface they have or interaction they have with the product. The actual users need is to actually what kind of flavor it is, what is a like taste of the ice cream, or how big the size of the ice cream, or what kind of form it is, like it's a cone or cup, or it's a family pack. So there are many factors. Even like after they had the ice cream, they may want to remember the flavor, or next time they want to think about the ice cream, they want to think about that particular flavor. So it goes beyond the user's experience of the product, goes beyond in what they actually initially interacted before they are buying. So the UI UX just focuses on how the user is interacting with the product, whereas knowing your user and your overall product experience goes much beyond that. Next, I want to talk about how say some engineers who are just passing out from college can understand this concept better, because there may not be that many courses available for you to understand this concept. So every person is actually a user of any product today. Like you yourself might be buying some cell phones, or some kind of groceries for your house, or some toys, or whatever you play with. So all these products, you are the user. So from that perspective, try to see whether as a user, how this product would have been much better for you had the person who has developed the product spoke to you, got the feedback constantly, and improved the product. So that way, for every product you come across in your life, if you are applying this thought process, you will automatically develop the skill without having to go for any course or registering for the course. Okay, hopefully this particular concept, knowing your user to make your products more successful, helps you becoming a better engineer. Hope you like it. Also, please subscribe and like Kaushik's videos so that we can get the feedback like you like the videos, and we can produce more such videos. Thank you for watching.